All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Providence Lucha Talk. This is Luisito.
Jay Aguila.
And I know we took an episode off, but today we're gonna try to hit a little bit of everything: NXT, AEW, Smackdown, and Raw.
No, we're not.
No, but just a little quick, whatever happened.
Yeah, there was nothing special to talk about SmackDown in a sense. I mean, Raw, there was some event that should be mentioned. There's more news to talk about than those two shows. But before we start, we want to thank everybody for listening to us and make sure you are following us on both the YouTube, the Twitter, the Insta, as well as our Facebook page, and our audio content on Spotify, as well as the Apple Podcast. So appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like and share and, let your friends know about us, and hopefully we could bring them in and have a good time. So I would like to start mostly not with more of like what occurred Wednesday night.
Yeah,
I would like to talk more about certain events that seems to be happening. For an example, Ricochet may be leaving WWE.
Oof.
And I'm not sure if I share that information with you via Messenger, but it seems that since he's been moved to the main event, or since the moment he was moved to the main roster, it doesn't seem like Vince was a big fan of him per se. And now it seems like his contract is about to expire. So it doesn't look like your homeboy is going to get like an extended contract or a mutual agreement.
Which is not fair, but I feel like I'm okay with it. Because I feel like, yes, because I feel like Vince, there's a lot of people that we've seen it in NXT, like NXT superstars that come from other companies, and they've been successful in other companies, and thinking that, in NXT they were champion. I think, for example, I saw a post, I don't know if it was yours or it was in one of the wrestling sites that we follow. Basically, Andrade, Ricochet, Aleister Black, two of them were NXT champions, and one it's former North American title holder, and they don't know how to use them. You know what I'm saying? You have so much talent, people, especially coming from NXT over, and they're not being used properly. And especially, I think I'm more upset about. Well,
okay, so
Aleister
here's a
Black
question.
and Andrade, like.
So the question is, who is to point finger at? Because
Vince.
again,
Vince and the writers.
Wow, that was quick. Because like I was gonna say, out of all the people, right, the only two individual we could say fully in confidence that are willing to work with them was Paul Heyman when he was the executive Raw manager, and Paul Livestein, aka Triple H, in NXT. Those are the only two people that actually entrusted these individuals to like show up, and like after that, it was just like, come on, dude.
I feel like Vince hasn't Vince hasn't like not evolved whatever works for him works for him, but he hasn't evolved. So I feel like if you're a big dude and you have like basically if you're over 6'6", 6'5", and you're muscular and shape, you get a push. He's not. I feel like the Ricochet type, it's not his type, and also like I feel like he sees talent, but I feel like he gets tired or bored quickly about people. So it's just he's just wasting talent.
I mean, like how Ricochet is not his type when Ricochet is the youngest version of a Rey Mysterio. You know what I'm saying?
But how long did Rey Mysterio had? But I know he had a momentum when he was North American champion. Great. Not North American. World Heavyweight champion. But after that, he didn't win. Like it's not.
He won the tag team. He won.
But nothing like that wasn't his face. Like that wasn't like not the face, but that wasn't his like the main guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't like a company guy. Like he was a piece in the different shows, but like the people that, for example, like Randy Orton, he's done everything. Like that's his type. Like Drew McIntyre, even before he was this Drew McIntyre, he was basically the chosen one by Vince back in the day. And, unfortunate things happened that he had to, be like out of the company. Now he came back and he looks even better now. And now he's like, this title run's going to be for a while. I don't know if it's going to continue until WrestleMania, but it's going to continue for a while. But I feel like he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't see value of people until like it's not monetized. But I feel like Ricochet, he made his money. He made him United States champion, which was great. He earned it too, but he became United States champion. But after that, it was just like, what else? And now that we don't have the people, I feel like he doesn't see the tangible reaction from people, from basically from Ricochet or Andrade or Aleister Black. Like they're just being misused or mishandled in the company.
Yeah, it's sad to see that, especially with guys that, like you said, they were top dogs in a different brand, and now that they're in what people call the main roster, it's just like, dude, like what are you doing with us? What's your intention? This is your face, because like I give props to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, I think what he said during a Raw talk is so true. It's like, listen, I don't know why they're putting Aleister Black on me, but if I have to finish the man, I will do it. And I'm like, I'm not mad at that comment. You know what I'm saying? I think what he spoken was truth. It was like,
was that the Raw talk of this week or the Raw talk of the one after last week?
The one that he got on the table and made that comment.
Okay, so that was the one from last Tuesday, like last Monday.
No, because I think this Raw talk, R-Truth told Aleister Black that
Twilight. Yo, I sent you the link. I was like, those who I feel like Raw SmackDown are not worth the watch, but I will say just the Raw talks, especially with R-Truth, hilarious.
It's like you don't know what to expect, but
he's
like
priceless. Like
he's
that guy,
money. He's just pure money, and that's something. Like I encourage people to watch. Like Raw Talk or Smack and Talk, Talking Smack, yeah. Talking Smack. Yeah. Those two shows after the actual main show, it's fun. It's hilarious.
Crazy. Like,
but other than that, right? So there's that talk about Ricochet. For those who like Star Wars, right? Mm-hmm. Sasha Banks being part of season 2 of the Mandalorian. If I said
Mandalorian,
Mandalorian, sorry. That's fire. Mm-hmm. Kudos for her. I didn't know she was that into Star Wars, but
I feel like she's maybe not into maybe the new generation, but I feel like she's always been part of the anime and kind of like of the culture. So I feel like it was a good opportunity.
Which is not a bad thing. Yeah. It's like, I understand the anime if she was, because, you know, her husband being from the Asian nationality and stuff. And before she even got married, she also talked about her passion about anime and all of that. I would be more surprised if she was doing like a voice actor for like a new anime show. Like, I would get that. But like seeing her in a like sci-fi fiction storytelling, it's just like, and especially Star Wars, you know how big of a brand that is. I personally have not seen a single episode, movie, whatever. But
Star
like,
Wars
at all. But I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm not saying I watched them all, but I've seen the important ones, and they're pretty cool.
Okay, sure. Yeah. But I'm saying is like, I'm pretty impressed that she got that type of job, and hopefully that could give her more of a launch to her future career, that she might be the next Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You know what I'm saying? In a sense.
It could be it's a possibility, yeah. And especially because she comes from family like Snoop Dogg and stuff, so she has connection to the business.
Exactly. So I feel like that might give her that launch, which I'm kind of happy for. You know what I'm saying? So if that happens, awesome. If not, then hey, it is what it is.
But I feel like it's a strategy 2 ways. One, it's good because she could bring fans over from that are Star Wars and kind of science fiction stuff over to wrestling, and vice versa. So she could, you know, bring people that are into wrestling into Star Wars and different sci-fi. And also, I think, doesn't Disney owns
Star Wars? Yes.
No, but are they affiliated with, or not yet? They kind of not. But I think before COVID and everything, Disney was trying to buy some offers of WWE and Disney going together. So I think this might be a segue for.
So what we spoke about when we heard the news that Disney bought Fox, Disney already got their pocket in WWE because on Friday night it's SmackDown. So yeah, they got their pocket.
Sasha and SmackDown.
and also ESPN, and ESPN does show WWE like announcement and shit like that. So yeah,
so it's
Disney got that. Disney got
Disney
that.
already got Disney already got
Disney
kind of like
is
talent.
the 1% of our entertainment.
They're the EC3 of,
and it is up to Jeff from the owner of Netflix for him to like compete with Disney, because like that man is making buckets. Yeah. And when I'm saying buckets, I mean like if you didn't heard the announcement of how much his net worth is, just his net worth, you're missing out. Or living on the rock, one of the two. And lastly is I shared this information with you. A lot of people are making this comment, and I want to hear your thoughts before we go into the AEW and NXT talk. Is MVP the best decision that WWE was able to make during this tough time?
One of the two.
Interesting. Elaborate.
Yes, MVP. I feel like he's helped. I feel like him being part of the end of the Attitude Era. Mm-hmm. Being out of the business, seeing what's in these and stuff. So kind of revamping his style of wrestling, also age and different body type that he had before. Now he's adjusted, which is good. He's more veteran, more experienced. I feel like his talking, marketing, basically, look, bringing back the redoing the United States Championship. He did a great thing. Yeah. I think, but he kind of like introduced it. I feel like he was the rep. Imagine somebody else bringing a new United States Championship.
Let's not talk about the belt, because
I like the it's probably
it's messing up my like digestive system. And
he also revamped or kind of rejuvenated other people's career, Shelton Benjamin, as well as Bobby Lashley, even Cedric. At the moment, we don't know what's gonna happen from that, but I like that he's rejuvenating people.
And Drew McIntyre too.
Yeah. Also, he's in commentary. I think this Monday he wasn't part of commentary, and
no Samoa Joe.
I don't know. I think they might. I didn't see Samoa Joe on commentary at the end, like almost at the end. So I don't know if he's transitioning out of the booth of commentary onto back into it, but we'll see. He wasn't there, maybe. And also he's trying to kind of take an idea that Vince or whomever, basically the Nation Domination, but I feel like he made it not a copy, but his own that fits like his character. You know what I'm saying? Like it fits MVP. It's not a copy of what they try.
Their motive is not the same as it was with the Nation Domination. Mm-hmm. It's it doesn't have that same motive, because we're in a different time, yet we're still dealing with the same type of issue. I think it's a version that's more focused in the business and making sure that all eyes are within the talent, which I think it's doing well, representing Shelton Benjamin, who has been in the shelf quite some time. I'm glad he's getting light. Of course, Bobby Lashley, current U.S. champion for the Raw division. And now with Cedric Alexander, I think he joined because most likely if Ricochet is not going to be with the company in the near future, he has that security with the Hurt Business. You know what I'm saying? And if let's say MVP does join the commentary table, I believe that's not going to hurt the Hurt Business, because I believe that's going to allow them to put a replacement in a sense, so that way it could be a stable four.
He's kind of like in comparison, he's kind of like the Chris Jericho at commentary in AEW. So what Chris Jericho's doing in AEW, he's doing in WWE. And I feel like it's a good, especially somebody of his caliber, talking and style and everything, it fits a good third person, or kind of like a supplementary person at commentary. And also, I think I mentioned too, I think another decision I feel like that WWE did, especially during and after the pandemic, I feel like making Drew McIntyre your face of the company at the moment, and him having feuds with people and helping people, up and stuff. But I feel him still having the title, I feel like it balanced not the roster out, but I feel like he's the correct person at the moment, the face, to balance out the company and make it as stable as possible.
That's what I've been saying since he got the stupid title. I believe in Drew McIntyre. I know people wanted the belt to be removed from him, from Seth
I did.
Rollins. People wanted it away with Randy, and I'm
Bobby
like,
Lashley.
no.
I feel like Bobby Lashley. It was a wrong decision.
I was on the fence. Like, you could go back to our previous episode. I was on the fence between him and Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew still is a good option. He's still hot. I think he found his groove. And now, if this rivalry between him and Keith Lee
and
could
Randy Orton.
I think
it's a triple. It's a triple threat. I'm guarantee you it's a triple threat at the next pay-per-view.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but I'm saying if the rivalry focusing between Keith Lee and Drew mature, that could be money on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to make it even more of a hype that you could get the crowds from NXT and literally focus now on Raw, because two previous NXT champions are going at it. One is a little bit longer than the other, but still you're going to get maybe a nice matchup with that. Randy Orton is just I'm going to say he's more of the glue.
Yeah, the catalyst between the two,
Exactly, to have that common denominator and then be able to let them do and build up their own story as the future generation of Raw roster. Or maybe in the shakeup, we might see Keith Lee in SmackDown. True. I don't know.
I feel like, and they also have, besides NXT, a connection from NXT, they also feuded against each other during Evolve. So if those could go back, especially now that they have the archives of Evolve, they feuded for the title. And I think that it went back and forth and stuff, but they have history with each other and they work with each other, they have respect. So it's a good chemistry, especially putting a feud like this. It's not kind of cold turkey and putting Randy Orton against McIntyre, even though last year they feuded and interacted and stuff. But I feel this is has more roots to what the struggle and kind of the indie scene that they've gone up to and through NXT now at Raw. But before we continue, I also want to add, I was reading somewhere that they pitched an idea for the New Day and they dropped it. They was like, no, we're not doing that. So now that we know that Big E has like a big push kind of going as a singles competitor, either Intercontinental or basically a singles title in SmackDown, they were pitching the idea that since Kofi Kingston at the moment was injured, that's why Big E was a single competitor at the moment. They were suggesting that before Kofi Kingston or after he gets healed up, and it was gonna happen, kind of timing would have happened during the Superstar Shakeup, moving Kofi Kingston to Raw, and having one of them in each brand, still keeping the New Day, but individually they will have different theme music, and having Xavier Woods as their manager, but he'd be a cross-brand manager. So on Mondays, because at the moment they're in the same location, so Mondays he'll be one, and they're also like, we're not doing this.
You know what? The answer is I agree with New Day. New Day has full control of their idea. They know what's best for what's New Day. I mean, like, all the information you're sharing, sure, it's interesting, but honestly, it's like nobody knows New Day than New Day. Yeah. You listen to the New Day podcast. You remove one of them out of the picture, you could definitely tell it's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Someone, I think you mentioned it before in past conversation, is like, if one of them tried to go in a single without the support of the other two, the others are just going to get buried. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be pushed to the back, be jobbers, be like unwanted players. So keep New Day as New Day. If you want to make a New Day, bad day, great day 2.0, go for it. But
I feel like addition by subtraction, the only thing that I could think that could not help them, but make them even better or even more, maybe Keith Lee joined them.
No.
And I feel like they could like kind of be undisputed era of SmackDown or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like have a forward person, but I feel like that's only one. Or be kind of like how Kevin Owens was kind of a commemorative member for that match or that thing.
So was Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work. 3 seems the right number for the stable. You know what I'm saying? It's like they know what they're doing. They should not try to writers or Vince shouldn't not try to change anything. Yeah. They should continue to trust the New Day in their process and making sure that As long as you put butts in seats, selling shirts, having people watch our YouTube channel, whatever is the case,
Yeah.
It's like, but this is a good example. It's like a pitcher on the 5th inning, nobody on base. You know what I'm saying? And then the goal is like no hitter on base for all 9 innings. You don't talk to the pitcher. You don't look at him. You let him be in his mode. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody from the infield, outfield are just supporting him, making sure that they're doing the job. And once it's the bottom of the 9th and he gets the final out, you know what I'm saying? We all celebrate.
Yeah.
Let New Day be that pitcher and don't do anything to mess up their flow. That's really how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like simple as that.
But I saw that. I was just interesting. I'm like, you trying to ruin them again? Like they trying to do that in the beginning, and they was like, no. Let us pass or fail. Like if we fail, okay, you have a reason because we decided, not you. So now everybody's injured. They're trying to pull a fast one, and I'm like, wow. I'm glad they just shut it down immediately.
Yes. Keep up the good work, New Day. So let's just break it down real quick. NXT had a few championship match plus a non-title match as well. So here it goes. Blackheart versus Io Shirai. Shirai got the win over Blackheart. Mm-hmm. Don't freeze up on me now. We also had Desmond Troy versus Ciampa. Ciampa got the win
and
over
also
Troy.
They changed his name, which is good because I think he used to be Denzel DeJournette and Evolve. Mm-hmm. Before he faced him, he was kind of the jobber in Raw a couple of times, and they changed his name now to Desmond Troy, and it's just like it's fine, but it's just like I feel like they are repackaging people from Evolve that we've seen before into potentially new stars, which is good.
Which is fine. Kushida defeat Austin Theory in a match. Not surprised.
Austin Theory is becoming a jobber.
Breezango versus Imperium for the NXT Tag Team Champion. Breezango are able to obtain the match at the end against Imperium. Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro versus Jesse Kamiya and Z Lee. Double C's. Yeah, Double C's be Kamiya and Lee. I think Lee is not wanting to talk to people. It was an interesting backstory for that. We had Drake Maverick and Killian Dane versus the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Strong. Dane and Maverick defeat Strong and Fish via disqualification, which seems to be a good match because I'm seeing the grade of like average of a B+, so that must
it was a good. I feel like this reminds me a little bit of when everybody's trying to team up with the Big Show when he was kind of like a heel, or even when Daniel Bryan and Kane didn't want to be with nobody. That's what Killian Dane is kind of in NXT. So Jake Maverick is kind of breaking down the barriers of Killian Dane a little bit, but we'll see what happens between the two.
Facts. And then last match was for the North American Championship, where it was Priest versus Thatcher. Priest obtained the title, and also I'm seeing it was wow, I ate some brownies after this. Priest defeated Thatcher to obtain the belt. So with that being said, which match you liked and which match you didn't like?
I would say let's see,
because you're out of us, you're the only one that watched.
Honestly, I liked the announcement that they had overall, both match wise. I liked the Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart because it was kind of building up from last week. Everything else was kind of like fillers for kind of making up time for their pay-per-view, which is I think in October 4th, I think. So they trying to build up thing. The one I wasn't that impressed about was Imperium against Breezango. I feel like the match should have, like, it was a good match, but it was just like they built up Imperium so much that now they're losing, that it's just like I'm not liking Imperium losing. The filler match was decent. The Kaden Carter, Casey Catanzaro, they are trying to build that team. Potentially, we might see a tag team match, for the titles, maybe when they do allow people to go across brands and stuff. But I think there's bigger. Jessie Kamea, she seemed kind of new, but I feel that this is probably the best way for breaker her into NXT until taping and stuff. So she had all the. I think she beat Shotzi Blackheart, but it was because Aaliyah. But she seems kind of new compared to the other three. But it was good. Even honestly, the North American, I don't know. I need to see more from Damian Priest. Like, I don't know if they need to do. They're not giving that much importance. I know he got the last match of the night, but I feel like it didn't feel that important compared to everything else. Like every other news, I know they have a gauntlet match tournament for the number one contender for the NXT title for Finn Balor, and they gave a couple of rules, but it's basically a gauntlet match. And they also have a battle royale for the women's for Io Shirai's and AEW. I'm sorry, for the NXT title. But it's gonna be battle royale, and they have basically the whole women's division for NXT. So I feel like that North Americans kind of left on the side.
Yeah,
we didn't see the cruiserweight title either yesterday. So I don't know if they're gonna do something next week or something. But
I mean, I seen a lot of story with the 205, having their champion being more present through that show. So I don't think it's going to be more back on Wednesday night for a bit. Personally, the way how I'm seeing how the promotion is being done. But let's just hope they are able to be more consistent with this 205. Hopefully people are trying to reconsider and watch the show compared to like not doing anything with it, because it's not the most favorable one, but at least give it a try, guys. So,
I think what was it this Wednesday was the first time that they had not Wednesday Night Wars, but we had AEW and NXT at the same time. And NXT's, I don't know if it's the competition going against AEW or it's just that I don't know what's going on. Because the days that they were by themselves, I think on Tuesday, Tuesdays, I don't know. And the matches went that last week, they had good matches, but it was not like, oh my God, like a pay-per-view match. They had one or two matches that were going for the title and stuff, but most of them were like filler matches. And they got up to like almost like high 800s. And yesterday they had basically 690, and TNT AEW had about 890. So it's just like I don't know if there's a disconnect of people, timing, or I think AEW is just like running wild on Wednesdays, and it's not even giving us like oh my God matches, but that seems more exciting for me.
That street fight it wasn't.
No,
it was.
But it's just like the weeks before when they went on Saturday and stuff, those seemed like a pay-per-view matches on a regular TV. You know what I'm saying? In comparison, this seemed like a regular episode. We had a couple of matches that were good, but it's not like the Saturday matches they had, or on Thursday they had like pay-per-view like matches that wanted you to watch that episode. If you missed it, you missed a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's there. I hope they go to Tuesday. I think Tuesday's a good day for them.
I agree. Tuesday seems better because number-wise, it's like, sure, you're trying to cut the head out of your enemy by, showing your product the same day. But isn't it better to just double your profit just by being separated from them and just like do what you have to do? I mean, like they probably took some numbers from their premiere AEW Dark on YouTube by going on Tuesday, which is more beneficial.
And also, I think Impact is on Tuesdays, and I bet you they took numbers away from Impact, even though they had some couple of like championship matches too. So
it seems like I'm hoping like Triple H just figure this out sooner than later, because maybe they're using NXT as a Trojan horse. You know what I'm saying? It charges in and then it's trying to like, keep the numbers not as high for AEW until like further notice.
True.
And then he'd be like, you know what? Let's just retreat and just go back to Tuesday. Because when they were doing Monday Raw, SmackDown Tuesday, and then NXT Wednesday, I mean, like, dude, you were going back to back to back with some great programming.
And they were traveling too. It's not like now they're in the same, well, except NXT now, but it's SmackDown and Raw in the same place. But I will say, strategy-wise, if I were them, I hope they listen. If I were them, I would keep, Monday, it's Raw. No, that's like a tradition.
Yep.
Move NXT US on Tuesday on the USA Network. Don't bother Wednesdays. Wednesdays, NXT, AEW, whatever. They got one day. NXT UK is coming back tomorrow on Thursdays. So find a way to either, because I know it's on the network, but I feel like if they find a way to a channel or something or some, because I know there's a time difference and stuff, but find a way that you could either pre-record it or backdate it or something to fit. It's gonna be tough because it's like you're
Well, those that have like the Verizon package,
yeah.
yeah, if you got like one of those premier package from your like cable service, I think the NXT UK are part of BTS Sport,
Yeah.
if I'm not, or BT Sports.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if they renegotiated with that, but I know overall they are in the network and stuff. But so if you think about it, you have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and AEW is clumped in the middle. Like you can't, and no other company besides AEW at the moment, besides New Japan, can compete with you on TV per se. So I will say get you shares through there. Then eventually, if you're gonna, when people could travel back and forth, move NXT US and merge UK, or like have like not two shows, but like do something that you can bring people over. How you do the Superstar Shakeup and stuff, and have Superstar from UK, like so they could have some US like viewers for UK like on Wednesdays, and then you could build up again. You know what I'm saying? So like divide
I
and
do,
conquer.
but I don't think financially it's going
Yeah.
to be that wise for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like what you're saying is like great ideas for sure. It is financially on paper, it is just like too much of a cost if they're not going to get like a big return at the end of the day. And I know you have to spend some to win some, but I think they probably like we both agree it's best for them just try to stay on Tuesday so that way they could have a bigger return than partial return on Wednesday competing with AEW. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Like that's a fact. So let's jump quickly to the other side of the coin, AEW. Jurassic Express and FTR had a match. But before the match start, we saw that the Young Bucks came in and they did their super kick party on a ref, went back, threw money to Tony Khan, looked at the FTR, and walked away. Not sure what's going on with that personally, but hopefully it comes all together by the next pay-per-view. Hopefully it's for a title match. But game plan is follow. FTR defeated Jurassic Express as the opening match. Broken Matt seems that Matt Hardy was attacked them back. Seems that Jericho and Hager had something to do with it. But they have a match with Private Party throughout the show. MJF squash Sean Dean. Poor Sean Dean. I wish he would get like a good like pop real soon, like they tried to do with Pineapple Pete for sure.
I feel his time will come because everybody have had their time. Pineapple Pete, Will Hobbs. I feel he's next.
Fair. Kingston and the Family of Violence just started chaos with everybody, which is kind of weird. But it's part of their promo.
And also, sorry. And also, is that what Eddie Kingston and everybody? I like that message that he gave the Blade. Get your home like tidy or in order. I think the Bunny's coming back with Butch and the Blade. Because he said, get your home in order. So I think
I got the information. Yeah. We'll go to deets. The Inner Circle defeat Private Party in their match, which is not a surprise. The NWA World Women's Championship, Thunder Rosa against Ivelisse. She retained her title, but Luisito definitely shared some big insight about that before we started the show. So can we bring it to the light? Him and Page did a solo match, and he won against I think was Frank from SCU. No Kenny Omega.
At the end, but it was just weird. Like we had a sight in, but it was just like
it was like and lastly, we had one of the biggest street fights we've seen in years. Years. Proud and Powerful versus Best Friends, and if you get a video package from the hardcore legend himself giving you props, my God, you deserve it. You definitely deserve it. Also, MJF Moxley was attacked by Starks and Cage, where they introduced the newest member of All Elite, Will Cobbs. Moxley grabbed the mic, mentioned that Hobbs is going to be his tag team partner for next week. And he also called out Darby to show up next week because it's going to be a 6-man tag where it's going to be Moxley, Darby, and Hobbs versus Starks, Cage, and Lance Archer. So yeah, what you thought of the show?
It was good. Kind of. I want to go to the. I feel like the
Kingston.
Well, the Kingston thing first, then Thunder Rosa. But the Eddie Kingston, I like that they allowing their talent, AEW allowing their talent to kind of speak freely or have enough trust in people to cut a promo. Because I feel like he's probably one of the top promo people that they have in there. And also when he was NWA, I feel like it's genuine and it fits his character. It's not rehearsed or nothing. And also I like that what I mentioned before. Maybe the bunny might come back. I feel like it's about time. I feel like she needs to come to the dark side. I feel like it's she's utilized better with the Butch and Blade, and I feel she's the piece that they're missing because I feel like they've been losing, and she could bring the whole thing together.
So yep. So the 3 message that Kingston was saying during his promo is the following. The first one is that he never lost the Casino Battle Royale,
which is true,
and he's demanding that he should have a title match for the belt, which is fair. I think he should.
Yeah.
His second point is that it's not a group, it's not a stable, it's not a faction, it's a family. And once he said that, they started to have chaos among wrestlers or people on the sideline of the ring, beating the crap out of him, which was like really interesting. And it's like Luisito said, the third message is to the Blade, get his house in order, meaning get Ali or the bunny back from QT, so that way they could have more of an eye candy for the family. You know,
and also where does Neville or Pac fits in all of this? Because we haven't seen Neville.
I don't think he's going to be part of the family.
But I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, will he ever come back? Or, like, how do you see this? I feel like he's the wild card about this whole situation. Because I know Eddie Kingston, I feel that Eddie Kingston's, there's ulterior motives for him to make in this group. I feel we all know he's using everybody. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel there's something more to this. Because it's too simple for him just uniting all the bad guys, all the heels together to be a family. Like something's off. Like I feel like the shoe's gonna drop eventually.
Let's see. I mean, like, Pac could definitely play the role of the return or the prodigal son. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to get back to his position with Ray Phoenix and the Lucha Bros. Pentagon. Yep. So Kingston would definitely do all he can to make sure that this group, this family, stay as strong as ever. But I don't think Pac will be able to do as much damage, you know what I'm saying, to this faction. I think the only thing that could ruin it if they bring, like, if Pac come in with 2 other people, you know what I'm saying? True. And they could start their own type of war against, Kingston versus Pac group. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense, unless if Pac joins the Dark Order, which is also a possibility.
Yeah, I feel like also if he makes his own, because I know it's the old MJF mentioned that he was thinking potentially joining a faction because everybody in AEW is in a group. He's the only man flying solo. Besides,
he's a lone wolf, but yet he has Warlord.
But he's the leader. Like he's the leader of that group. It's basically MJF and Warlord, not a faction. Because even Moxley has his people, especially now.
Well, Moxley announced that the one guy he trusted since the beginning has always been Darby. That's a fact. That's a given fact. Now he's building a babyface with Hobbs, which now kind of make it more, going with what you said. So to me, MJF maybe joining Dark Order, it doesn't sit right with me. Honestly, it does not sit right with me. I don't think that's a really good play for his character. I feel like when he was doing the candidacy, yeah, he had people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm assuming most of them were wrestlers. I could see him replacing some of those people with like more known names, but like him joining like a already established stable or faction is like
but it was just like, but I could see when he mentioned that, the thing that came through my head was like, how about he links up with Tully Blanchard with FTR, and he could be, if you think of a picture, he could be, you know, Four Horsemen. You had the Brainbusters, which was Arn Anderson and Tully. You had the manager, which was like the handler for everybody. You had Ric Flair, and normally the fourth person was, it varied depending on the group. Throughout the ages, it changed. You had like Sluger, you had other people, but basically the fourth person changed throughout the years. You could have him, MJF, as, if you're comparing as Ric Flair, you could have FTR as the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, and the fourth person could be, depending on situation, whatever, they could rotate out between Shawn Spears, Hangman Page. You know what I'm saying? Like the fourth person could be like a wild card, so they could be allied with them, but not be like, they could be four horsemen, but the last position could be anybody that is affiliated with them. You know what I'm saying? And Tully could be the main person to handle everybody's personality. I feel like he could handle MJF, or at least let him lose, but I feel give him enough advice to like, I feel like MJF could listen to him.
And my other thing is too is like, now that we're talking about stables, right, and we're talking about Tully, where the F has been Shawn Spear?
He lost. I think he's having a match next Tuesday. They're having a match. It's called Late Night Dynamite. Instead of having AW Dark, they're gonna have a match on 3 matches on Tuesday on TNT. So he's wrestling against Matt Sydal on next Tuesday.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. So I think they got, I don't know if they're doing AW Dark and this, but this is kind of like a bonus TV match. So it's gonna have 3 matches. It's gonna be Scorpio Sky against Ben Carter. I haven't seen Ben Carter. I have to check more of him. Then
he's been in Dark.
Yeah. So then the next one's gonna be Brandy Rose against Anna Jay from the Dark Order. So I feel like this feud's gonna be done. I hope she wins, but
yeah,
then it's
the
gonna
daddy
be
match.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Matt Sydal against Shawn Spears. So it's Shawn Spears' time to start building up wins and not being such a goof or comedy.
Yeah, and hopefully Tully does continue to walk with Shawn Spear as well, and then maybe get the support of FTR as well in the group, so that way it could show that, hey, this is someone that you don't want to mess with, you know. And that's what I'm really excited for in AEW. It's like, if they could connect these pieces and then start telling more storytelling to mature and be more exciting for us as fans, then shoot, I don't care what WWE try to pull off from their ass. Like, this is something that it's going to like build up beautifully. It's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for the future of AEW.
And also, talking about the Thunder Rosa and Ivali situation, we spoke about that before we started. So their match, I saw it live, and it was a very technical match, but it was a little slow. But come to find out, after watching kind of post credit, kind of like, what is it, Monday Night Quarterback and stuff, watching everything, a lot of things that happened in the match make sense, because there was some internal beef between the two. Ivelisse didn't want to sell some spots or moves for Thunder Rosa, so Thunder Rosa was hitting some of the spots for real. Like, some of the hits and punches and stuff were really punches that she wasn't holding back, kind of like receipts. But they have had feud beef from before, and Thunder Rosa was like, Thunder Rosa is not an employee for AEW. She's kind of like a daily. She gets kind of like Brock Lesnar contract. Like, when you show up, we pay you, great, and that's it. So Ivelisse was trying to make Thunder Rosa look bad, and Thunder Rosa kind of made it her goal not to make, especially she's representing NWA and she's a champion, At least show some respect, or at least the match. But so she kind of took it to heart, so that she proved that NWA as a champion, she deserves respect, and also some other spots she didn't hold back because it just trying to make it look bad. I think it's a messed up move from Ivelisse, but it was just like I feel like personal stuff shouldn't roll over to the ring, and I don't know if it was like a smart move for Ivelisse. Do you think she did the right thing or just like a bad business move?
I mean, like we don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If a tree falls, man, there's three sides to it. Yours, mine, and the tree. So we don't know what exactly is the full truth to it. It definitely showed that there was bad blood. You know what I'm saying? And especially with Diamante jumping in at the end.
Yeah.
Attacking.
But I think that might roll over for next week. Maybe a tag team between the champions, NW champion and AW champion against Diamante and Ivelisse.
I mean, whatever. I mean, if that's the case, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just not seeing much of like, I'm not seeing like too much insight, you know, from that one match. Maybe next week we could have a better understanding because it seems that Sheeta for her showing up, you know, it maybe tell us that they are trying to tell a story, and this is like one way to get the attraction of the people to be like, hey. Like these girls went at it, and now we're gonna have a tag team match next week, so you better not miss out. And hopefully, it works for them. You know, I'm just hoping that this doesn't botch. And also, Kushida being like a double champion, though, I'm like,
I don't think that's gonna happen. And also, they need to make that belt bigger. Sheeta's wearing it as a fanny pack, bro. That belt she's a normal like wrestler. And she's wearing it as a fanny pack. Like, you need to make that title more prestige. Even the Thunder Rosa, it's tiny, but she presents it as a real title. Like, it looks like it looks weird, but it looks like she wears it like a title. Sheeta is just like, that's mad little.
I mean, like, you're the one who's a big fan of the new U.S. title for WWE.
That is the title. It's like big and like it shows you what it is. But I feel like they need to not make it like I'm naturally like way too big, but a champion should wear the title as a champion, not as a fanny pack. She had it across the shoulder, which is fine, fits her style and stuff, but it's just for me, I'm so old school that I want the champion to like rock the title, like wear it like over the shoulder, around the waist or whatever, but it's just like give it more importance than how it looks on Sheeta's shoulder.
I mean, let's see what they do. Because honestly, it's like we've been talking about this belt for so long, and yet nothing had happened. So until they don't make a difference, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's not much we could do. The result of the best friend versus Proud and Powerful is that Trent will get the pin over Santana, I believe, and from there we might be seeing one of the newest, freshest shirt in the merch from Best Friend, which is the mom flicking her finger while the van was open with Best Friend being in the back seat. Beautifully done. Delivered.
That's a good. I feel like I don't know how much time she could provide the company, but if she was the manager or like not the chauffeur, but like literally like dropping the Best Friends home, like if you're taking your kids to like soccer or whatever, she could take them to the ring. Pull up in the minivan and they come out. That's like I feel that the babyface gimmick and stuff, but I feel like that fits them perfectly, and especially her. Imagine her having like a mom fight or dispute with I don't know Tully Blanchard or whomever it is. It's just like it's a good banter. Imagine her against Jericho just bickering like a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good story and it's entertaining, and that's so. Wrestling and this industry is supposed to be. So give us a history and a story and entertain us. So I feel like maybe part-time or even for pay-per-views, that could be their big entrance or something. That'd be kind of cool, like being dropped off by them.
Maybe, but we'll find out soon. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like I said, for them to get a lot of pop on the social media, especially from the hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley, giving that nice minute package of like what he wanted to do back in the days and how they were able to do it safely, but you know, they're bruised up and stuff. That's freaking awesome. And another thing we also got to appreciate is like we saw Retro Lax last night too. Like that with the face paint and everything. That's like a tribute to the old squad. And FYI, guys, Diamante was part of that group. You know what I'm saying?
They're only missing one person, which is I don't know if he's available because I know he's in Mexico. I know he's in Mexico, and I think part of MLW. But maybe when contract starts happening, and also like if going back to the beginning of the show, those who watched in the beginning of our show, you mentioned just came to my head maybe Ricochet. Let's say he's a free agent. If he goes to AEW, but not as Ricochet, as Prince Puma, or even as Ricochet, whatever. But even Prince Puma, either
does he have license to it?
Prince Puma, yes. Ricochet, I don't know if it's part of
WWE,
I think, but Prince Puma is his.
Okay, so,
because even Prince Puma being part of the Lucha Bros, I know the Lucha Bro in it, or even part of LAX if they bring LAX back or something that'd be kind of because we saw Miro, he did his promo was fine, but I want to see him in action. Like he's
you gotta let that,
you know, like that's gonna be a while. But
he's an oven making meal, man. He's not a microwave meal. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let that tender, let that get that nice color, give him time. So when the right opportunity that he has his match, and hopefully it's not going to be in dark, it's going to be actually in, you know, Dynamite. I feel like it's going to be worth the wait, you know, but because right now, Kip Sabian, he has no beef with nobody. You know what I'm saying? True. There's no rivalry for him for Miro to get involved with, unless it start with Jurassic Express or SU. I think those would be the two great groups to go, you know, toe to toe with. But also, I don't want Miro to be part of a tag team. You know what I'm saying? I want Miro to be more in the single division, go to toe to toe with Heyman, go to toe to toe with Scorpio and Matt and a lot of, you know, Brody Lee. Oh my God, him and Brody Lee. I feel like they could do it.
I think next week TNT it's gonna be Orange Cassidy against Brody Lee for the TNT Championship. So you better watch next week. Yeah, Orange Cassidy. That's
if I watch
draw, it's gonna happen, whatever. But I'm interested in that match. I feel like that's only next process for Orange Cassidy because I feel like he's already made into a star. Let's see what they give him next. And I feel Brody Lee is a good.
But this is my problem with this announcement, right? It's kind of too soon.
You think he should have? Brody Lee should face other people in the meantime.
Yes, definitely 100 times yes. Because come on, with the pop that Orange Cassidy have made with Chris Jericho, it'd be stupid for him to get DQ or lose a match, a championship match, just because they are trying to like fill in spots. Like, nah, man, you got other players that to use. Not Stark. Stark is in a story.
You could use
Sunny Kiss, Janela.
For Cassidy?
No, for the champ. Yeah, for the champion. I mean, like, wait, what would be wrong?
Matt Cardona.
Too soon.
But I feel they had a feud over the last pay-per-view, so I feel like go against Scorpio Sky because he beat already Dustin Rhodes. So then beat Scorpio Sky.
Or QT
Marshall. Then also Matt Cardona. So you have 3 matches right there. I feel those 3 matches should happen before Orange Cassidy.
But is Matt affiliated with the Nightmare Collection?
He was with them. He went against the Dark Order. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are who you hang out with. So he's part of them.
I mean, but still, and
he's also his boy. His friend is the former TNT champion. So maybe he wants some revenge because he got this. Cody got destroyed by Brody Lee.
I mean, I hear you. I definitely do, but I'm still. It doesn't really like answer the question. Like, is he been part of the squad? Like, is he like an official member like they did with Allie? You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
Ali.
I feel like he's like an acquaintance. I don't feel like he's part of like a member.
Quinn, then no, don't put Matt against Brody Lee too soon. Put again, you put QT Marshall, you put in you know, some jobbers, put Sean, you know, I love Sean, but like, you know, you put Sean Lee, you put Mac, you put, you know, Ali Mac, you put like all these jobbers, you know, for Brody, Sonny Kiss, Janela, and you know, when the time is right, then we could have like a pay-per-view match between Orange Cassidy and Brody Lee, so that way it'll be, you get more eyes.
Yeah, and he could face with, for example, he could face with people with the Dark Order, with Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, whomever. He could face against it'd be too much comedy, but him against Cole Cabana. He could face him. You know what I'm saying? Like have a few, but
Orange Cassidy,
have something involved with the Dark Order that your final boss through like progression should be Brody Lee.
Okay, I hear that.
You know
I respect that. Yeah, that makes sense, because I'm like, I don't want. First of all, I don't want Orange Cassidy to be taken as a comic wrestler. But again, he's showing more of an aggressive side.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
it'd be comedy. It's still comedy. Comedy's comedy. It doesn't matter. He's still a highlight reel gimmick. He does everybody's finishers as his normal stuff. He's still comedy. Like he's not a serious person. He's a babyface, but he's still comedy. So I don't know how it'd be too much with him and Cole Cabana. You know, they could make it work, but it has to be, you know, it's a fine line between too much comedy between the two, which is fine in AEW. You know, try it once. If it doesn't work out, okay, you tried. But I feel like he should run through at least most of the people through the Dark Order, then get Brody. You know what I'm saying? Like, or at least have some type of program to. But Brody, I feel like there's too many people in between that I feel that's too soon.
What's the time on us?
We got a couple. We got like a couple of minutes. Yeah.
A couple, or like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we could give it 10.
Give it 10.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm gonna say let's go straight into more serious Orange Cassidy. Honestly, like I said, I hear you, but it doesn't. But if it does, you know, it is what it is. Raw last night, we saw Retribution, and this time we're getting more eyes, non-covered faces. So I definitely could recognize Mia Yim eyes from a distance. Like, girl, you ain't fooling nobody. Chelsea Green as well.
It's either, I'm not trying to be messed up, but it's either Mia Yim or Xia Li. Like, there's not too many people with characteristic of features like hers.
No, I think
you know what I'm saying, the mold. Like, it's.
I'm more towards Mia Yim, because the way that Keith Lee is involved.
Okay.
Like, the only person that could probably will touch like or move her the way he did, it's like it has to be her. Personally, I think it's her. And then, you know, Dominic definitely is. Dominic is like the tallest motherfucker in the group. So you could.
And this one even wasn't even covered, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, you're supposed to look the part.
No, actually, I feel like this is the moment that we're revealing each member. You know what I'm saying? I think they're telling us, like, this is the time. This moment is coming. You know, we're about to finally show the true mastermind of the group. And I don't know who's going to be the true mastermind, but whoever it is better do a hell of a job. Because
I think it might be the Limitless one.
Keith Lee? What type of shit you're smoking, man?
Hey,
like,
I've been my crazy conspiracies. I've been right before. So.
Hijo de Fantasma, sure. Like, you've been very attentive to that. Like Sherlock Holmes, I give you props for that. You were never gonna make me forget about that. But this one, really? Nah.
I feel like it's not a Nexus move, but I feel like they bring in people from NXT that are connected somehow. So you have Mia Yim, you have Dijak, Keith Lee's in fold. That's his boy. I don't know about Shane Thorne. I heard about Shane Thorne, but I'm like, I don't know. And I think Dion. So I feel like he hasn't been used too much in NXT, but I feel like, I feel they need a leader. It's either that or I was saying a couple of weeks ago, maybe Kevin Owens, but that wouldn't be too bad because he's not doing nothing at the moment. So him being kind of like how
It'll
CM
be
Punk, but how CM Punk was kind of like in charge of the Nexus, you could have somebody veteran like that. Because there's really nothing
CM
else,
Punk.
like so. Maybe we could see Keith Lee. I don't know, like because he's the past couple of weeks Keith Lee has been wardrobe changing, which is good. He's been evolving, but I don't know. There's not enough information for Retribution, but I wouldn't mind seeing edgier Keith Lee.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how that go. I feel like that match should have had an ending either way because like it definitely brought. I saw like the graph and during that time period of their match, it definitely spiked up. So I feel like we need closure for that for sure. We saw Braun showing up for Underground. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like he needed to release some steam, but I like that next week they're building up him against the big guy that's basically running Raw Underground, which is good. So now you have something to please.
I don't even remember the second part of his last of his name is like Dabu. That's why I keep
think it's I don't know if it's Babatunde or something.
Babatunde Dabu, something crazy.
But he was running Raw Underground for a while, so I feel like to please Vince because now you have two legit giants in there. So even the guy that's outside that he used to be part of the Ninjas with what's his name? He used to be part of the Ninjas with Akira Tozawa. He made Braun look small, and Braun is a big dude. I think that guy is like 7'1", 7'2", but we might see him be in the mix later on. But it should be interesting next week.
Crazy
I feel like
prediction you're making. Crazy prediction.
I'm telling you, like.
All right,
but it should be good. I feel like Braun needed to blow off some team, and they needed like a superstar for Raw Underground because they've been recycling people over again.
So the mystery female, right? I've been thinking about this person for quite some time, and I saw some of the promos that they have done. I think there's so far 2 or just 1 that they've been revealing.
Yeah.
What I know you said it could be Eva Marie, right?
Yeah, and possibly. I think they leaked something, and I saw that they're trying to cover up a tattoo, and I don't know if it's saying I was thinking it was Eva Marie or repackage what's her name, the Southern Belle.
No. Okay, so
I was thinking, but what I saw I saw a picture. Somebody pointed out that they're trying to cover up tattoo. They couldn't, and it was Carmella. That's what I saw. I don't know if who you maybe.
All right, so this is the builder, right? So this female, I feel like because she's no longer part of or with the name of Sonya Deville, I feel like she might be packaged as blonde. Because think about this. Just hear this out because you said some wild shit on this episode. Let me just throw some shit for a second. So she said is an I Quit match against Mandy Rose, right? Her motive has been always tried to be better, prettier, than Mandy Rose, right? So in some time we seen things turn to what they fear or they lost to. You know what I'm saying? If I can't beat them, I'll be them. So I think repackaging Sonya Deville
similar to what they did. To what's her name? The one that faced like Mickie James, she was like in love with Trish Stratus, and she kind of like became Trish Stratus to like beat her. So something like that, like with Sonya Deville. Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like they wrote her out TV at the moment when that happened because a lot of legal proceedings that was happening. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe because
I feel like she makes sense because she's, again, if you look at the news, doesn't say she's like a free agent or whatever. So we know that WWE still have her under contract. So I feel like she is definitely a better candidate to repackage compared to bring somebody from the outsource in. And also with this legal action too, I don't think any of the video promo that they have for this mystery female have been revealed of a time frame of when she's appearing. So I feel like by the time Sonya Deville's situation is a little bit more settled, and then it gets closer to that date of who this person is, I feel like we might see like a whole different character that's going to be not much of a fighter, but more as like
more
like Mick
feminism.
Foley.
But I feel like I see your concept, and it's a feasible concept. I feel like one is too creative for them. Two, I feel like doesn't fit the persona of her. Like she's very feminine in her own way. I feel like this will be too extreme. Also,
I don't think so.
Mandy got traded to Raw, so I feel like I don't know. I feel like I think it could be Carmella. I think Carmella. I saw a picture of somebody kind of like saw like they had a frame of her upper body, and they're trying to blend in a tattoo that she had, and it shows a tattoo that Carmella has. So we probably have to investigate more or see more of the promo, and maybe like Sherlock Holmes this maybe, but we'll see. We have to like before it gets close to the thing, we have to like give our final guess when the time comes, and let's see what happens.
I'm saying if it's Sonya Deville being repackaged for SmackDown,
which will be great, but I feel it's too creative. It's too if you should write that idea, send it to them, and charge money.
Hell no.
No, but I'm saying ask for royalties or something, because that's a good idea, but it's just like it's not gonna come from them. It's like that sounds more of like somebody that watch the industry, and it's a good way to transition people over. But it's just I don't know, like.
But think about this, right? Since what's his name again? I think his initial is DB, the new the one that's like manager for both SmackDown and Raw. I forgot his name. Like since they're the managers, since they've been under like new management, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like stories have been a little bit more consistent with Raw and SmackDown. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I feel like we are getting more closure and more buildup of new rivalries, especially like people like Sheamus, people like Angel Garza, people like Jey Uso. Like, what? Like, he's getting a title match for Clash of Champion. Like, that's freaking ridiculous. So I feel like there's slowly improvement, but I think, like you said, it's like if they could just take out or add newer talent for the writing table.
True.
It's going to be dangerous for them, especially to end the year, because, like, my God, we're close to 2021.
Think about it. We're almost 90 days from Christmas.
You really count that?
No, but it's the 9th, 17, 12. It's almost 3 months away from Christmas. Like, that's crazy.
My God. Yo, that's crazy math you just spit out there.
Like, it's just,
real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, the year's about to be over.
Yeah, and so it's just like, I feel like this is definitely the opportunity for SmackDown, WWE in general, push it to the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Just like do what you have to do, and hopefully by 2021, make some moves, because it seems like in the sport industry, a lot of the playoffs for like baseball, is going to be travel within I believe it's 2 states. I forgot what were the 2 states. I think it's like between Texas and Florida for the playoff portion of it. So maybe they're already working on trying to get like cities in the South, like Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, to do road show, but not with that many crowds.
Yeah, I know they AEW rescheduled a bunch of them, that were a bunch of shows that were happening October, November to next almost the summer time, which is fine. But I feel like they're not prepared to leave not their controlled bubble, but the wrestling bubble. I feel like they should finish out the year inside the bubble. They don't travel or nothing, because it's gonna be crazy, and see what happens, how regulation changes after the year's end, and maybe you could travel and have bigger shows. And I don't know, because this year they didn't have Hall of Fame 2020,
which is sad.
Yeah,
they should still do it like end of year. At least end of the year.
They might do because next is Hollywood, WrestleMania Hollywood. So I think they might double up and bring the people that they were supposed to be 2020 to 2021.
When they do the Slammy Awards, it was during like the end of the year. So they could still do
Yeah, but
you know, the
if you think about it,
inductee.
it comes in a package. You get the Hall of Fame's the day before WrestleMania. You get WrestleMania, then you get
It
you get the Hall of
was a
Fame, you get
package.
NXT, you get WrestleMania, then you have the Monday after WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, that was the package, but it's weird to have a vacant year of not inducting at least Dave Bautista or
yeah,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, since you know him and his family
yeah,
speedy recovery are you know dealing with
true.
Corona. So it's like they cannot let this year pass without putting one in, even if it has to be Triple H himself, as you know, with his accolade, so be it. But put in a name before the year ends, because that way it's going to be, at least it's going to be different,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that like I was preaching before. Raw and SmackDown has been more consistent with the story before. They should try to be consistent with the other stuff behind that. So I guess that's Providence Lucha Talk for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for making it this far with us. You know, if you found us by mistake and you joined the conversation and you share your 2 cents in our comment section, we say thank you. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, I mean, like, we got 2 work for you, man. Follow us, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to follow us on the SmackDown on the Instagram, on the Facebook, on the YouTube, as well as the Twitter account, Providence Lucha Talk, as well as our audio content. You know, just set up the notification bell on your Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you'll definitely be notified once our audio portion is posted. So I am your boy, Jay Aguila.
And there's Luisito.
And we say buenas noches and da-da.
Yeah, have a good one.